Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, what's up? My name is vianney.strick. Thank you so much for being here. As you guys can see by the title, today we're going to be doing an updated full face of NYX professional makeup. I say updated because I have done this video maybe twice, but I do like to update these videos because obviously a lot of products come out, and there has been a lot of products from NYX that I have been loving, so I wanted to put them all in this video for you guys. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join my squad. Let's get into it. Let's get started. So, I do have a lot of products for you guys. A lot of them I have been loving for a bit now, so if you do watch my channel a lot, I'm sorry if it sounds repetitive, but I wanted to put all these products in one video, especially for those of you that maybe haven't tried NYX before, and I just have a lot of recommendations. We're actually going to start out with a pretty new product from NYX that I have been loving. This is the NYX Fat Oil Lip Drip. Now, this one is in the shade That's Chic, and I really like these. They all have a different smell to them. This one smells like grapes, and I feel like maybe it looks a little intimidating, but this shade actually looks stunning. It gives you like a beautiful, almost like a black cherry, plummy look. And as you guys can see, these lip oils are like a medium pigmentation. Now these almost feel more like lip glosses. They don't feel oily, they're not sticky, and it's like a medium consistency, not overly thick, not overly thin, and they're really pretty. Some of them have shimmer, this one doesn't. It also has that nice fat doe foot applicator that everyone loves. I am so sorry, my microphone was not on me. I'm sorry. Okay, we're back in business, you guys. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so this is the NYX Freezie Primer, but you know what I just realized? I actually bought another primer for this video that I haven't tried actually. So why don't we double prime? Because I did buy a travel size of this Plump Right Back Primer, but this one I've also been loving, so this will be a first impression. So like I mentioned, it's the Plump Right Back Primer. I see a lot of people loving this product, saying that it also gets really tacky, almost like a gripping primer, but we shall see about that. It is clear. It definitely feels just like a kind of like a gel, like a watery gel. I think this is just supposed to add hydration, plump the skin, have some skincare benefits, but I swear, I feel like I see people all over social media saying that it gets a little like sticky and grippy. So let's go ahead and let this sit for a sec and see if that happens. So this is a $17 primer, and it really just says that it has like vitamins, hyaluronic acid, all these electrolytes. It's supposed to leave your skin looking plump, moisturized, replenished, energized, and it says gripping serum. So it's been sitting on my skin for a bit. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like sticky, but it definitely, like, my skin does feel nice. Is this gonna be your go-to gripping primer? No, I definitely think you should go with the e.l.f., but my skin looks nice and it feels hydrated, so I guess we will see how the foundation looks on top. So far I do like it. I'm just not getting the gripping that everybody is saying. So like I've mentioned in all of my videos that I talked about this product, this is like a thicker gel, and it's gonna feel very cold when you first put it on the skin. A little bit goes a long way, so you do get a lot of product in the jar, and it kind of does a little bit of everything. It definitely smooths the skin, and it gives it like a really nice base for makeup. It mattifies a little bit, but it's also hydrating. And so I've been really enjoying this because it's like an all-in-one primer. It just creates like a really, really nice base. This is also supposed to be a moisturizer as well. I always use moisturizer before my makeup anyways, but it's nice to add that like extra hydration, the coolness, and of course the smoothness. So for foundation, this was definitely a surprise to me. I don't tend to buy like matte foundations just because I have normal to dry skin. Even though I do love the look of matte skin, it can be drying for me. This is the NYX Bare With Me Blur. So I feel like a lot of people get confused, myself included. It's called a Blur and Tint Foundation. Personally, it feels like a foundation because you do get a lot of coverage. This is medium coverage, a matte finish, and it looks beautiful. I have the shade Golden Light. You don't need too much of it, and I just like to kind of put it everywhere. And then I like to blend it out with a brush. I think that if you have very oily skin and you're looking for a foundation that is going to mattify your skin but also keep your oils at bay, not gonna lie, I'm not sure how that would work out for you just because it doesn't really dry out my skin at all. It's so interesting because this is one of the first foundations that I've ever tried that is this mattifying and looks this velvety without it being drying. And it also wears beautifully. See how it evened out my skin tone? I've been loving it. I think it's gorgeous. And of course, it is drugstore. So we are going to do a little bit of cream bronzing, blushing, highlighting. So first let's talk about the Wondersticks. So they do have a couple different versions of the Wonderstick, but this is going to be the dual-ended face shaping stick of contour and highlight. So I actually picked up the shade medium tan, and it comes with a contour as well as a highlight. Now, I actually picked out this one because I thought this would actually be a nice cream bronzer. I actually really like these. I feel like when you first see them, they kind of look like maybe they're not gonna like blend out very well, because I'm not gonna lie, like putting them on doesn't like melt into the skin like when you're applying it, but once you start blending them out, they really do blend out very easily. So now I'm just gonna pat over it and see how easily that blends out. It gives about a medium coverage. It's not like the most pigmented, but it's definitely buildable, and so I do think that you can go from like very natural to very sculpted. It's actually the first time that I've tried these products over this foundation, just because this foundation is a lot newer, but so far everything is blending out perfectly. Moving on, you guys know the drill. I like to do concealer first and then add my blush. So for concealer, we're gonna use a fan favorite. This is the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. So this is gonna be more of a medium coverage, and it's going to look more radiant, creamy, hydrating. Something I don't love is the fact that it has a pump rather than an applicator, but we will look past that. I have the shade Golden, so I put it on the back of my hand, and you really don't need much. Like, this is only one pump, and we're gonna use it for both eyes. And from what I remember is that it does look beautiful, but to get a little bit more coverage from it, to kind of let it sit for a minute. So we'll go ahead and let it sit for a sec. I look crazy. I really do like a lot of the Bare With Me line. They have a lot of really nice products. It looks stunning. I do think it looks very natural. Right now, this blended out into more of a light to medium coverage. I kind of want to see if we can build it up to a medium, just because we are doing a little bit more glam today. But I will say, if you're just looking for like a very hydrating, radiant concealer that will give you light to medium coverage but look absolutely stunning under the eyes, you guys should definitely try this. Right now I am getting a little bit more coverage, so I would definitely keep using this for like an everyday concealer. As you guys can see, it looks really nice. So when it comes to cream and liquid blushes, they do have both, so why not double up? So again, we do have another Wonderstick, and this is a blush Wonderstick. I got the shade Coral and Deep Peach. So here we have Coral, and as you guys can see, I broke it. And then we have Deep Peach. These actually come with both blushes. The other one was Contour and Highlight. This is both blushes, and they are matte. And then they also have the NYX Sweet Cheeks. These are soft cheek tints that they're actually matte. And I do have the shade Nude Tude. This one actually almost looks like a lip product. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap it on. And as you guys can see, this is like a cool tone nude, but see how this blends out really, really beautifully. These are really nice products. They're like more like moussey and velvety, and they do have a lot of really beautiful shades, and they're pigmented. You don't even have to set them if you don't want to. They're some of the better like liquid blushes at the drugstore, in my opinion. I think we're gonna go maybe like this shade. So because we already have a blush down, I'm just gonna grab this with my brush and apply it to the top. But again, this is essentially the same formula as the other Wondersticks. Pigmented, blend out nicely. Even though they just look like sticks, like they really do blend out really nicely. So don't be afraid of these, and I really do like that you get 2 blush shades on this one. Okay, now we're going ham. Now we're going ham, you guys. I'm sorry. I know. I always do this. So for powder, mine's broken. Because I just keep it in my desk, but this is a great powder. Unfortunately, I don't even know if it has the name here, but I'll put a picture right here. This is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop powder. This is one of my favorite powders of the whole drugstore. I have the shade Medium. Again, it's a mattifying powder, but this reminds me a lot of like a Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder. So as we all know, we're gonna blend out any creases, and I love using a powder puff to set everything. I'm purposely only setting one side of my face so that you can see the witchcraft. Do we see how blurred and matte I am? I will say this powder is a little bit more on the drying side. I know I've shown you all these products that are not actually super drying even though they're matte. This one is a little bit more drying, but you can bring it right back with like a setting spray. But I do think this would actually work for combo skin really nicely. Okay, so you guys are gonna have to forgive me for this one. In my mind, I was like, okay, I have a NYX bronzer. I have one. I've always had one. And then I realized, you guys, like I have to declutter. I realized that like I do have one, but this packaging is no longer the packaging because it's that old. So I'm like, do I use this in the video or would that be pointless because they don't sell this bronzer anymore? But of course, we'll keep it drugstore. You guys know my favorite right now is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear in the shade 400 Tan. And I'm just gonna set the cream contour, cream bronzer that we put. So I won't be adding too much. We're doing a lot of blush today, but you know what? Like, I'm sure you guys want to see all these products, right? So for blush, powder blush, we also have a NYX Sweet Cheeks matte product, but this one's actually powder. And this one's in the shade Bang Bang. I haven't used this in a while, but from what I remember, it's pretty pigmented. Yes. Keep in mind that we do have like bright blush under, so this shade is gonna look a little bit more bright on my cheeks right now, but it's definitely a little bit more of like a cooler, neutral, plummy shade. So when it comes to brows, I am a NYX brow girl, like through and through. So I have like all the NYX products for brows. If you guys need a clear brow gel, get the brow glue. If you want this same glue with a little bit of tint, just to give your brows a little bit more oomph, then try the tinted brow glue. And if you want a brow gel that is actually gonna fill in your brows with some like fibers, then get the NYX Thick It Stick It. I think today, let's try the NYX Thick It Stick It because I feel like I haven't used this on my channel for a while. It's a thickening brow mascara and I have the shade Brunette. Now, like I mentioned, this one actually has fibers, and so it almost does it all for you. Half the time I don't even need to go back in with like a pencil or a marker. This is such like a one and done product and it has such a great hold. So normally I would be pretty satisfied with this and I wouldn't really go in with anything else. But for the sake of this video, I do want to add their brow pencil, or no, the brow like marker, but I do like to let the brows dry first. So we'll come back to the brows to finish them off. Let's go ahead and move on to the eyes. This is the NYX Ultimate Edit. They do have a couple different shades. This one's in the shade Warm Neutrals. And this is what it looks like. Now, to be honest, I don't want to go too heavy on the eyeshadow today because I did buy these NYX Jumbo lashes that I've never tried, and I always hear people saying that it looks like eyelash extension. So I want to definitely add some color to the eyes, but nothing too much so that we can kind of see the lashes for what they are. So I'm going to start just by adding this matte shade just so that we have a little bit of a base. And then we'll go in with a different shade. So this palette actually has 4 matte shades and 2 shimmers. I do think that if you try this palette, you're gonna like it. It's just, for me, out of like the drugstore, for eyeshadow palettes, I just don't think these are the best. So this is definitely not gonna be something that I'll be first to recommend to you, but I do think that if you have this palette, I do think that you'll probably like it. By the way, I'm just grabbing this matte shade and I'm just putting that on the outer corner, kind of like in a C shape to add some warmth and definition to the eyelid. I diffused that shade a lot and now I'm gonna start adding some darkness with the darkest shade. This is like a very cool tone, medium tone, matte brown shade. And I'm going to diffuse it again with that first shade that we used, the like orangey muted red shade. Now I'm going to go back into that matte white creamy shade and really pack that on the lid. I really want the eyes to look super awake, and also again give the eyeshadow that will make the eyelashes shine on top of. And then adding a little bit more darkness to the outer corner with that dark matte brown shade. For the lower lash line, I'm going to grab the transition shade that we used, that little orange shade. I'm also going to deepen out the outer lash line with that brown shade again. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. If you're interested to see the shimmer shades, this is what they look like. They're not very thick, they're not very buttery. Like I said, it's not a bad palette, but for the eyeshadow palettes that are available now at the drugstore, I definitely think you can get way better for your money. I do think NYX is so good at so many things, but I do think that they lack a lot in their eyeshadows. But we did create a pretty look. Why is my camera like not focused on me? So again, skipping out on eyeliner because I want to see these lashes in action, but I love the NYX ink liners. NYX has a lot of really great liners, so I don't think you would go wrong with any of them. They're great. Okay, so moving on to mascara, we're gonna be using this one. This is the NYX On The Rise mascara. If you like lift, separation, and length, I think you're really gonna like this. This is quite like the spiky silicone type of wand, and if you're into that, I do think you're gonna like it. We're not gonna go too heavy with the mascara today just because, again, those lashes, I just want to try these lashes, but I did want to show you guys that I think this is a really great mascara from NYX. While we let the mascara dry for a sec, let's go back to the brows. My favorite holy grail brow marker of life, like drugstore and high-end, is from NYX. This is the NYX Lift and Snatch brow tint pen. I like the shade Espresso, and it literally is, it just looks like a very fine tip, almost like an eyeliner, but it has like the perfect amount of pigment, like good enough to look like hairs, but not too much, but not like non-existent, if that makes any sense. So I just like to add hairs to my brows, and it looks great. If you want to add hair-like strokes in the most natural looking way, I think you guys would love this, and it's super affordable. And I have to say, this pen has lasted me a long time because you're just making little hairs, so the pigment does last a very long time. All right, so let's try these lashes on. So again, these are the Jumbo Lash in the shade or the style Fringe Glam. So this is what we're gonna work with today. I do have an invisible band and a really nice curl. All right, guys, I got the lash glue drying right now, so let's finish up the face with a little bit of this cream highlight. It does come with like a very golden yellow highlighter if that's what you're into, and again, very pretty. So let's go ahead and apply it on the cheeks, and as you guys know, I am applying this over powder, and it still looks beautiful because it is a cream, it's not a liquid, and it just adds a very beautiful glow. So I love that. And you know, I cannot forget that inner corner highlight. Beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and apply these lashes. I cannot for the life of me find some tweezers right now. I have not applied lashes with my fingernails in a very long time, so wish me luck. By the way, I did have to cut one little cluster off the end just to make it a little bit smaller so that it would fit my eye better. Oh my gosh. I don't know why they looked like a little bit more natural like looking at them, but because they are very curly, they are definitely giving some like eyelash extension vibe, like a very dramatic volume. For like a night out, these are so comfortable. So let me go ahead and do the other side off camera because it's a little tricky. These lashes are so lightweight and the band is very thin. I don't even feel them, and they're adding a lot of drama without it being heavy or like overly thick. I actually really like these. I am loving the super curly effect. What do you guys think? My go-to favorite lip product at the moment is the NYX Shine Louds. If you need a lip color that doesn't move, you don't need to reapply nothing. Nothing. Like you put this on in the morning and you wash it off at night, which is like, what? This, because I like to overline my lips, and so I like something that stays on. My favorite shade is Magic Maker. I did put this in one of my previous videos, so I kind of wanted to create like a little lip combo with the Fat Oil Lip Drip and one of their lip liners. I did want to mention that the NYX Line Loud lip liners to me are the most pigmented and long lasting of the NYX lip liner line, but this shade won't work today, so we're going to use a different type of lip liner. But just know, if you're looking for like the most long wearing, try the Line Loud. So this is what we have to work with. This color, so I think we need to use like a brownie color to kind of tone it down. So these are some of the shades that I have. Why don't we mix two shades? I do like these lip liners. I think that they're very inexpensive. They have really pretty colors and the formula is nice. It's just like not the most long wearing formula, so that's why I prefer the other one, but I prefer the color range of this one. So let's just say it Ever first. See how they're like really pigmented, really easy to use, and they're so inexpensive. So let's go ahead and add light brown to kind of tone it down a little bit and make it go better with the look that we have going on. And blend it out a little bit. And again, we're gonna use that Fat Oil Lip Drip. So this one's actually in the shade Supermodel, and this one is a pinky with a little bit of shimmer. And I think we created a very beautiful lip combo. Something about this formula just makes your lips look so freaking juicy. I mean, look at that. And then to finish off the look, we have to set the face. So for setting spray, I actually have, I guess it kind of goes hand in hand with this primer. It's the NYX Plump Finish with electrolytes. So it is going to be a setting spray. It claims to make your makeup last longer, but also add a bunch of hydration. So if you're looking for a hydration spray, try this one out. Alrighty guys, so this is the final result. I am super happy with the way everything came out. I'm obsessed. NYX really does have so many amazing products. I understand that compared to some drugstore brands, it can be a little bit more expensive, but I will say some of these products I think are worth every penny extra that you would pay trying these products out. So I hope that this video was helpful. If you want to try out the brand, I will link everything that I use down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!